Hi, my name is Christian Hernandez, and today we're going to go ahead and do some analysis given a data set that we received. Um, Looking at the data, it was definitely straightforward data, so very fortunate there. We can go ahead and start getting more into this. So let's see. Okay. So one of the first things I wanted to establish was to see if there was just a quick overview, just pull out a brief map, show me if there are any areas in weakness or any areas with either no profitability or below profitability in losses. Notice the states are pretty strong. So just to get a little feel of, market penetration and some growth, I went ahead and started from 2020. So you see a lot of unused states come 2021, expanded to a lot more, about three unused. And then right here, we pretty much have basically all states except North Dakota, of course, Alaska. Yeah. So one of the things that I did was I first, after I made an overview, really looked at the data and noticed that we were selling toys. Um, each toy belonged to one to three departments. So this map was relevant, and I did try to establish any losses before any individual items, which is the problem that I represent in the second slide. So in the beginning, I was more focused on losing money in inventory, but these states had strong profits. If you look, a lot of the profit ratios were above zero point 0.3. Of course, we had some really good ones at 0.49, let alone the numbers itself, like California, let alone, very, very strong. So, so that being said, I noticed as the years increased, market penetration to new states also increased. Saw that all states are in profit. So I began to wonder and think about the data and really think about, okay, so, all states seem to be doing good. Is there any individual items or places of concern we should look at? So after I got a feel for the situation, I went ahead and just pulled out all the inventory that was selling for a loss just to see, what's going on. Um, One of the things I've noticed here with this inventory is, there were some losses in 2020. Block toys, 3D puzzles, anatomy science kit, archaeology kits, Illinois baseballs. 2020 was definitely a tough year for a lot of people, but one of the things I noticed is as the years went up, so like in 2021, uh, there was less items as well as the total um, for profit started to decline up until we got to um, the final year of 2022, where the last uh, inventory sold for a loss was in 2022. So looking at this, that tells me that the items being sold are pretty much strong. Um, one thing I noticed too with the toys is it's never really like a consecutive toy always in loss. It's always different toys, so definitely want to look more into that as well as if there's any, I don't see any constant trends that would be alarming or reoccurring, I would say. But yeah, so with these toys here, big thing I wanted to start noticing was the departments. Okay, so we have pretty strong profit, but how is each department doing? You know what I mean? So that's where I came out with the yearly department trends to see what's going on. Because we may be in profitability, but that doesn't mean we can't take an opportunity to be leaner or, you know, focus on some areas of weakness. But yes, so few trends to definitely look at here. So let's see. So I created a graph of trends for this department. This is why I noticed some interesting things. After examining the items that sold for a loss, the company's data represented decent strength. So that being said, looking at this graph, there are we're clearly in an uptrend in sales and profit with our baby department. Um, but in educational, we are clearly in a downtrend. Um, and then outdoors, we are booming in an uptrend. So one of the things I've noticed is that we saw the uptrend really increase in 2020 for educational, right? One of the things we do know is that in 2020, during the COVID era, a lot of people had to stay inside, do homeschooling and things like that. So one really has to question, if the spike in education was possibly, due to circumstance, or will we see this downtrend break? But with outdoors and also, the end of COVID and regulations coming down, we've seen a huge uptick in outdoors, which also kind of lines up with people being able to start going up and things. So even though we are profitable, we can definitely focus on some areas of weakness and really lean this out. So that being said, now that I know that some of these department trends, I went ahead and took a closer look at some of the items that are either in underperforming, well, not necessarily underperforming, but more in the downtrend section. So when I look at educational, this kind of does play into what we were seeing on the previous graph. Educational is definitely taking a hit. We see uh, airplane models definitely on a downtrend. Anatomy kids definitely on a downtrend. Um, so using that data, we really wanted to focus also on some couple outliers right here. We do have uh, block toys in the baby, where we did see that uptrend, where it was nearing, but it seemed like it was going towards a plateau. Um, you can pretty much look at this chart and really see what's the culprit here, for that decline in what could be more profit. Um, it's block toys, so it's definitely something we're gonna go look a little closer into. But educational toys definitely represents that downtrend. And then another outlier here, outdoor. Inflatable bouncers. They're they're booming. They are selling like hotcakes. Profitability is extremely high. Um, definitely, definitely an area of strength for this. So the so the next sheet I have is the interactive sheet. So just to get a little idea of an overview of quick reference for states, and if you ever do decide to grow into or penetrate a new market, there you can get some reference as to what's going on in the area around it, and anything like that. So I chose this visualization to get a deeper understanding of the trends of each state. The visualization is meaningful because before making a final decision on a state, whether you want to reduce um, some inventory or maybe possibly increase some inventory, it can be meaningful to make that decision. So one of the things that I do want to take away here is as far as the well, we clearly saw the educational slow down. Um, depending on the state, pretty much a constant downtrend where there's more than data per year. And then yeah, really can go ahead and get a look into it. So when you go outdoor, uh, can really focus in on that inflatable bounce. And so that brings us to some conclusions about this. Um, so if I was asked to make some recommendations, so I would probably get with marketing to possibly get some exposure or possibly get some more exposure to some block toys to raise sales. See if this is actually, a temporary downtrend for that product. Because the babies department's momentum is still in an uptrend, but there's definitely opportunities to go leaner there. Possibly even reduce orders on suppliers to probably save on cash or storage if there's not a good inventory management system in place. To raise sales, I would probably start to transition maybe some of those education resources into outdoor toys and try to enter new states. So, for example, like here, inflatable bouncers, there's quite a bit of opportunity. And if you were to expand, seeing with a strong response with that, I would probably lead into outdoors with that being my figurehead. Um, besides that, um, you know, and we really want to pay attention to with that with the education as well, education department, see if that is possibly a trend with COVID, if it is temporary, um, and if things do wind up, going down because people are going outdoors and people are, returning back to school. So I could see people, wanting less stimulation or, people just really not caring as much or getting more itch to go outside. So other than that, to raise sales, you can definitely boost more outdoors, definitely get people, more people involved in the inflatable bouncer is definitely a way to go. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for your time, and I do hope you guys have a good day.